Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Today we are from group 12. Today we will discuss about intergender discourse atau wacana antar gender. Sebelumnya teman-teman, untuk materi lengkapnya bisa kalian lihat di PPT. Di sini saya hanya akan menjelaskan sekilas saja. Wacana antar gender. Sistem gender melintasi budaya dan generasi. Budaya perusahaan ataupun spesialisasi profesional. Wacana antar gender didasarkan pada pola-pola yang terdapat pada masyarakat Amerika Serikat. Oleh karena itu, kita perlu membatasi diri dari wacana tersebut. Berdasarkan penelitian Deborah Tanin, wacana laki-laki dan perempuan merupakan dua sistem yang dalam banyak hal memiliki perbedaan. Tidak hanya dalam kerangka wacana penafsiran yang sangat berbeda di rumah, tetapi juga dalam komunikasi profesional. Cara-cara berbeda dalam memandang dunia ini adalah sumber utama miskomunikasi yang menyebabkan frustasi dan kehilangan semua yang ada dengan mereka. Selanjutnya ada directness or indirectness, langsung atau tidak langsung. Di sini ada contoh percakapan, teman-teman. Saya akan bacakan artinya. Ini percakapan antara laki-laki dan perempuan. Di sini laki-laki bertanya kepada perempuan, "Apa yang Anda inginkan untuk ulang tahun Anda?" Kemudian si perempuan menjawab, "Saya tidak peduli, semuanya baik-baik saja." Laki-laki bertanya lagi, "Tidak, sungguh, apa yang kamu inginkan? Saya ingin memberikan Anda sesuatu yang menyenangkan." Kemudian si perempuannya menjawab lagi, "Anda tidak perlu membelikan saya apapun. Selain itu, kami tidak mampu membayar saat ini." Si laki-laki, "Nah, bagaimana kalau kita pergi makan malam?" Perempuannya menjawab, "Tentu, itu bagus. Saya tidak benar-benar menginginkan apapun. Lagi pula, kau selalu memberikan apa yang aku inginkan." Nah, dari percakapan ini kita bisa menganalisisnya bahwa antara laki-laki dan perempuan di sini mengalami frustasi. Frustasi seperti apa? Karena si laki-laki ini memiliki niat baik untuk memberikan sesuatu kepada si perempuan. Namun cara dia mengungkapkannya itu tidak sesuai. Jadi seolah-olah dia itu tidak peduli dengan si perempuan tersebut. Sebaliknya, si perempuan itu sebenarnya ingin memberikan kesempatan kepada si laki-laki untuk menunjukkan perasaannya. Jadi si perempuan ini bersikap eksplisit. Lebih singkatnya itu, perempuan di sini itu lebih banyak main kode-kodean, sedangkan si laki-laki tersebut tidak bisa menangkap kode tersebut secara langsung. Justru dia menangkap apa yang dikatakan perempuan tersebut secara harfiah. Oleh karena itu, akhirnya mereka hanya jadi makan malam saja. Nah, di situ yang menyebabkan keduanya mengalami frustasi karena ada perbedaan penafsiran di antara keduanya. Namun demikian, tidak bisa dikatakan bahwa perempuan itu tidak langsung dan laki-laki itu langsung, karena di sini keduanya hanya merupakan perbedaan ekspektasi, bukan perbedaan absolut dalam gaya ataupun perilaku. Kemudian selanjutnya different interpretative frames atau bingkai interpretatif yang berbeda. Nah, kita sering melihat dalam rapat-rapat atau komunitas yang besar, seringkali kita melihat laki-laki lebih mendominasi, mereka yang lebih banyak tampil, mereka yang lebih banyak bicara. Sebaliknya, perempuan tampak pasif dan diam. Oleh karena itu, mungkin sebagian orang menganggap perempuan itu pendiam atau pasif. Tapi sebenarnya tidak begitu. Kalau perempuan ditempatkan pada kelompok yang lebih kecil atau mungkin kelompok dengan sesama jenisnya, perempuan tentu akan berbicara dengan banyak. Sebaliknya pula dengan laki-laki, laki-laki tampak banyak bicara di forum, namun ketika di rumah mereka tampak lebih cuek, lebih diam, dan lebih cemberut. Nah, oleh karena itu tidak bisa dikatakan laki-laki banyak bicara dan perempuan lebih banyak diam. Semua itu tergantung situasi. Kemudian literatur wacana antar gender telah menunjukkan setidaknya 9 dimensi di mana laki-laki dan perempuan cenderung membentuk kerangka interpretatif yang berbeda. Dimensi-dimensi tersebut menurut Deborah Tanin yaitu ada intimasi dan independence, connection status, inclusive exclusive, relationship information, report, community contest, problems and solution. Masih ada lagi yaitu novice and expert, listening and lecturing. Sekarang kita memasuki dimensi yang pertama yaitu intimacy and independency atau keintiman dan kemandirian. Nah, di sini Deborah Tanin mengilustrasikan ada sepasang suami istri bernama Linda dan Josh, di mana Josh menerima telepon dari temannya mengatakan bahwa dia akan berkunjung ke kotanya. Oleh karena itu, Josh mengundang temannya untuk tinggal di rumahnya sementara waktu. Dia baru mengatakan hal tersebut kepada istrinya Linda setelah dia mengundang temannya. Nah, dari sini belakangan Linda merasa marah karena dia merasa tidak diberitahu sebelumnya. Padahal Josh melakukan hal tersebut karena dia ingin melakukan sesuatu tanpa harus meminta izin kepada Linda. Karena apa? Karena bagi Josh, dengan mendiskusikan sesuatu dengan istrinya terlebih dahulu, itu akan tampak bahwa dia membutuhkan izin dari istrinya tersebut. Hal yang berbeda dirasakan oleh Linda. Ketika dia tidak diberitahu sebelumnya, tidak diajak berdiskusi dengan Josh sebelumnya untuk mengundang temannya, dia merasa adanya keintiman di antara keduanya. Nah, dari sini yang menjadi perhatian pria adalah kemandiriannya, sedangkan yang menjadi perhatian perempuan adalah keintimannya. Selanjutnya ada relation and information atau hubungan dan informasi. Nah, dari sini dalam mempertimbangkan wacana antar gender, dalam banyak kasus perempuan lebih memperhatikan, cenderung lebih fokus pada hubungan. Sebaliknya, laki-laki cenderung memperhatikan atau fokus kepada informasi. Nah, demikian penjelasan saya. Selanjutnya akan dilanjutkan oleh Mbak Yunika.
Oke, my name is Yunika Maulida. Di sini saya akan melanjutkan pembahasan dari Mbak Naili. Language is a way of communicating relationship. Men, on the other hand, because of their focus on independence, status, and exclusions, will favor the informational functions of language. Tennant has referred to this as the distinction between report and report, even where men and women base their communication on the exchange of informations. The types of information communicated are likely to be different. There is an old joke on the subject. A man says, "My wife and I have an agreement. I make all the big decisions, but she gets to make the little ones. I decide what the unit station should do, how to solve the world energy crisis, and who will win the next World Cup. She decides where we should live, how we should eat, how to educate the kids, and where we will retire." This joke, which men tend to find more amusing than women, suggests that the joke teller is handpicked and controlled by his wife, but the joke is based on observation of the fact that what men consider information is what we might call public affairs or news. What women consider information is more likely to be the close and important details of their daily lives. One of the perennial sticking points in the debate over whether men and women in intimate relationships talk or not has to do with what they talk about. A man is more likely to say he had a good talk with someone if the talk had ringed over broad subjects like the economy, politics, and sports. The more general and abstract the discussions, the more it would count as a good talk. Women, on the other hand, are likely to consider it a good talk when close details of individual lives are are procalled, particularly where the style so people structure their feelings and their actions to the events of their ongoing lives. What women call a good talk, men might dismiss by saying it is nothing but gossip. The focus of the talk of women is on the community of humans who are connected together in their daily lives. Men, on the other hand, tend to be more concerned with contests, sports, politics, international business, and economy, or where they engage in personal details. Success and advancement are the topics which interest men. Again, this reflects the ongoing concern in the discourse of women with how human beings manage to keep their communities together and functioning in spite of difficulties and conflict. Men, being more concerned with independence and status, tend to focus on the ways in which individuals or groups manage to emerge victorious in combat, whether the combat is literal or figurative. The origin of difference, ideology, and paradox. Utilitarian ideology is based upon the concept that humans are free, equal, rational, economic entities and that our society is based upon free interaction among such individuals. Unfortunately, in practice, these rights have been rather selectively distributed. To be fair to at least one of the founding utilitarians, G.S. Mill, it should be said that he was among the leaders in the suffrage movement, the social and political movement to grant the right to vote to women. Nevertheless, in practice, the conceptual individual at the foundation of utilitarian thinking has remained a man. While utilitarian ideology is strongly anti-traditional, it has to jet done little to alter the traditional polarization between inside and outside work. Cowan, most economic activity was centered upon the household, particularly the household of the large landowners. In fact, the word economy was first used in discussion of the management of the research of such large households. The relatively clear demarcation between the work of men and the work of women was based upon this distinction between outside work, which was the domain of men, and inside work, which was the domain of women. In this, European society may not have been particularly different from many other traditional agrarian societies. With industrialization and with the rise of authoritarian ideology, however, two major shifts produce a major asymmetry in the status of men and women, which play out today in the discourse between them. The first shift came about in the redefinition of economic activity. It came to be defined as just as activities of innovation and technologication, so idealized by authoritarian ideology. The second shift was in placing inclusive value on those newly defined economic entities, productive individuals, as creativity and invention came to be valued over tradition in the utilitarian ideology. Men came to be associated with the progressive aspect of society and women with the traditional aspect. Early in the period of industrializations, public schools were established as a part of the utilitarian agenda, the maintenance of different socializations. A question which is often asked in discussion of miscommunication between members of different groups is this: why do people not just modify their behavior and they have realized that some aspect of it is producing difficult or conversions? The answer we have put forward above is that to a considerable extent, our sense of who we are as people and of our place in human society is tied up in the patterns of discourse we use in communicating with others. Oke, that's all from me. Thank you. Selanjutnya akan dilanjutkan oleh Mbak Fitri.
My name is Fitri Maulidi Hayati. My student number is 028. Okay, I'm here to explain the point of the maintenance of different socialization. There have as yet been relatively few studies on how boys and girls learn to become boys and girls. The research which has been done indicates that from very early in life we begin to rehearse the role which we will enact throughout our lives. For example, the play of girls tends to be organized around intimate and small groups of best friends who play inside with dolls and other household items. These small groups are hard to join and require constant talk to maintain the strong bonds and intimacy. Boys, on the other hand, tend to play in much larger and much more loosely organized groups. They play outside in large packs, in competitive games, cases, and mock fights. These boys' groups are relatively easy to join, but the new members are taken in the bottom of rigidly hierarchical structure. While this research is relatively new, it is clear that the difference we observe in the discourse system of men and women have their foundation in these early behaviors of boys and girls. For example, it would be quite wrong to think that boys always fight and girls always cry, but it is clear that differential treatment of these two behaviors tells boys and girls what is expected of them. A girl who has just fought with her brother and is crying may be told, "Don't fight, that's not nice." Her brother, on the other hand, may be told, "Don't cry, boys don't cry about a thing like that." Okay, the next point is messages and meta-messages, form of discourse. In describing the differences between women's and men's interpretive frameworks, we have already indicated most of the major differences in the forms of discourse used. Within these two systems has been observed a very important differences. However, is the attention given to message and to meta-message. There is a tendency for men to focus on the information given, that is the message, for the woman to pay closer attention to the meta-message. When the man said, "I've been given a transfer," focusing on the basic information that he, and of course his family, will be moving soon. His wife, on the other hand, has noticed his choice of the pronoun I and feels she is being given no choice in this issue. She feels that he is saying once again that he is going to do whatever he has to do and that she can choose either to go along with it or not. So while he has brought up the subject of the move to talk about, his wife has picked up on the meta message that he is the important one in the family. The one whose moves determine what everyone else will do. And in the following conversation, she is searching for further evidence of his attitude toward them. That he then follows the statement by saying, "Maybe you should start looking into schools for the kids." There it is. He has said you and expect her to do the work of arranging all this while still not including her in the process of making decisions. Okay, the next point is the struggle for equality, the struggle for power. We can return to one of the problems with which we began this section on intergender discourse. In some contexts, men are said to be excessively taciturn. In the other context, it is women who are said to be the silent partners. Men see women in business meetings and in classrooms as quiet, uninfluential fixtures who have relatively little no add to the discussion. Men and women differ in their assessment of the faith system in which they are currently operating in Western society. When men use faith strategies of involvement in speaking to women, they do within a faith system of hierarchical asymmetry. Women hear these strategies of involvement as the attempt to assert dominance, to be certain that this dominance is not legitimated. women will avoid using strategies of independence in responding. And such a system may expect women to respond to them with strategies of independence. When women speak to them with strategies of involvement, men feel they are being challenged. Men then have only one of two options. If they continue to respond with involvement strategies, they feel they will be heard as asserting their unequal status. On the other hand, if they use strategies of independence, taciturnity is primary among them. They help to achieve a system of neither symmetrical solidarity nor asymmetry, but a stand of compromise of symmetrical difference. Unfortunately, this compromise solution means sometimes a job of avoiding the asymmetry that comes with the use of involvement strategies is not perceived as the best way to foster intimacy. Okay, the next point is further research on gender discourse system. Most of the research on gender discourse system has been carried out in North America or in Europe, and so it is premature to speculate on how widely such discourse system might be distributed throughout the cultures of the world. We certainly know that men and women speech have been seen to be markedly different in many of the languages of the world. Furthermore, it is clear that in virtually any culture, the experience of women is markedly different from the experience of men, and we expect that such experiential and social differences will be codified with a markedly different system of discourse. Okay, enough explanation from me. Thank you. The next one will be delivered by my partner.
Discourse system and individuals. The problem we now want to try to understand is how one manages to deal with the complexity of the discourse system. In this development process, one learns a set of language and linguistic variation at such discourse system from a circle of confinement, which on the positive side provides identity and security to each member, but on the negative side tend to surround them within its boundaries, making it easier for them to continue talking to each other than it is for the to build successful communication with those outside the circle of the discourse system. Discourse system is not giving is to give a positive sense of identity to its member. The set of its function is that the members of the discourse system share in feeling comparable in communicating with other members of the discourse system. They reduce ambiguity in interpreting discourse. The downside is function is to form the boundary between the in-group and out-group, and people who are not members of the discourse system are rejected by member and I have difficulty achieving membership. At the same, the boundary between in-group and out-group communication make it less likely that members of the discourse system will be able to make themselves understood by non-members. Membership is the same is seen from the group's point of view. It is a group ultimately determine who is or is not a member of the group. One may be felt an identity but was rejected by the group as a non-member. Other side, a person may be considered a member of the group but has not yet come to take it as the part of one's identity.